Hey everyone, this is Patrick from Travels with Delaney, and I am trying to figure out how to mount 2 batteries on my Jayco Hummingbird 16FD. And the problem I have is right down here where the battery box goes, there's not enough room to add a second battery. So I decided I could maybe go up to the frame and go across, and so I purchased today this Stanley toolbox, and it will hold 2 batteries, no problem. But the issue was when I got home, there's not enough room for it and the propane tank because of this propane regulator right here. What I just discovered was if I put the toolbox for the batteries in the front position, I do have room to mount my 20-pound propane tank, and I'm not so sure I couldn't get a second 20-pounder if I ever wanted to add it. Now, we really haven't had a reason yet to add a second 20, but I think that might be an option. So I guess the only real question is there a reason why they always put the battery behind the propane tank? And as far as I can tell, I don't see any. So I think in today's episode, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and mount this using some self-tapping screws right into the frame. It's got these real nice metal latches, and then it'll just open up like that, and I'll be able to access both of my batteries. It's got a watertight seal here, and then I'm going to drill into the side to bring in my wiring, which should also vent. And what's nice is it's got the side handles, and you'll see right down in here, because of that lip, I think I can drill right in there, and it's going to be fairly well protected from water. The only real issue may be if you get any splashing, but I don't think that'll be enough to worry. Now, I will have to lose my hard propane cover and go back to the soft one that came with the trailer, but I'm okay with that because I'm more excited about getting 2 batteries on here. And I think what I'm going to do is I currently have 2 12 volts, but I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to go ahead and make the investment. I think I'm going to go trade those in on 2 6-volt golf cart batteries. At Costco, they have the Interstate with 210 amp hours. And so I think they were like $85. So I think I'm going to do that and put 2 6-volts in here, and that should give us a lot more life on our batteries when we're boondocking. So I guess it's time to start doing this. Let's see if we can get this installed. The first thing I think I'm going to have to do is I've got a little bit of an issue. The lip back here for the battery is about 1/2 inch taller than the lip where the propane tank was sitting. So the propane tank wants to wobble, and I don't want that to occur going down the road. So I think I'm going to try just taking my handheld grinder. I'm going to try to see if I can't grind some of that off. I only need to get about 1/2 inch off just in a short section so that this will set firm while we're traveling. So that's going to be the first thing I'm going to do before I mount the box. it's onto the new battery box.
You're right there. Yeah. Ta-da!
Now,
Now will it close?
let's see if I can get one in the back here.
There goes. Shoo-wee. Aha.
You might as well do one more.
Yep. Where's your other one?
What's Holmes say? Do it right the first time?
Yeah. That's what he said.
Gee, Patty, we're finally putting that mechanical engineering degree that I never got to work.
Yeah. I'm thinking I didn't go to school for mechanical engineering.
Nope, but we did stay at a Holiday Inn Express.
There we go. Solid.
Solid as a rock.
I mean, that's not moving.
Okay. Good morning. It's day 2 of our little project here. So where we left off was when I ended up getting this mounted in the propane tank, I forgot to account for my weight distribution holder. So it wouldn't fit on. The bolt that holds this on was sticking out too far. So we ran to Menards looking for a shorter bolt in hopes that that would work. Unfortunately, the one we bought, the 1-inch, is just a touch short, and all they had was the 2-inch, which we had. So what I ended up doing last night, it was too dark to film, was I actually, normally it bolts in this way, I just reversed the bolt, and then I'm backing it in. And I think that's going to hold, because really all that bolt does is keep this from sliding. The actual weight, when you hook up your change, is going to hold that down and keep it on there. So we're going to try that. What I need to do this morning is, though, I still am going to have to relocate this just a little bit closer to the center. Now, I can't go dead center. That would be the easy fix, because the regulator is mounted, and I really just don't want to move that regulator. They have it bolted in or screwed into the trailer, which would leave a couple holes on the trailer wall, and so I'm trying to avoid that. So I'm just going to do a little more grinding here, and then I'm going to have to drill 2 more holes to be able to lock this into place. And then I think that'll fix it. Once I get that done, then we'll start the wiring process for the actual batteries. So you know the old adage, measure twice, cut once. Well, I had measured twice, but the part they don't tell you is make sure you take the right measurements. So you're going to notice there's snow on the ground. This is a week later from the previous video. So after we got everything installed, I went to buy my golf cart batteries, or 6-volt batteries, to put in. And what I didn't take into account is a golf cart battery has more height above the top of the battery than a regular 12-volt battery. The caps they put on top are taller, and so luckily I hadn't went and bought them. I had borrowed my father's golf cart batteries and brought them over just to see if they'd fit, and that's how we found out they would not fit. So I spent a week trying to figure out what I want to do. And so what I did find out, good news, is this particular box, although it won't hold the 6-volt golf cart batteries, it will snugly hold two 12 volts in the 27 classification. Now the 24 is the narrower that you normally get on a trailer. The reason you want to go to the longer battery, if you can, is the amp hours. So I have found at Menards for $89, and then I'm going to get a 11% rebate on those. For $89 a piece, it's an X-Side 12 volt deep cycle at 105 amp hours, and we're going to wire them in parallel, which is going to give us 210 amp hours, which is going to be great. Now the downside that I've been told on the 12 volts is they don't recharge as well as the 6-volt golf cart batteries, but we've always used 12 volt batteries, so I'm okay with that. And the fact that we're doing two in parallel, I'm going to end up with 210 amp hours. I'm excited. I think this is going to work well for us. So this summer when we were out west, we went 6 days with a single 12 volt that was, I believe, only like 57 amp hours, and we survived with our Harbor Freight solar panels. So I think this is going to work. So let's go ahead and get these two batteries wired up. I also ordered a new battery shutoff switch, and I have a meter that I ordered on Amazon. Unfortunately, it was supposed to have been here the same day that the shutoff arrived on Wednesday, and for some reason it's headed east as opposed to our house. It started in Michigan, went to Ohio, went to Pennsylvania. That's the last I know. Who knows when it's getting here. So so that may make this video, it may not, we'll see. But at this point, it's cold out. I want to go ahead and get these batteries hooked up and then get a charge going on them, just to top them off. These batteries say October 2017. This is the beginning of December, so they're fairly new at our local Menards store, but I still want to get a charge going. Okay, so now we have our two 12 volt 27 class. These are rated at 105 amp hours, and so you can see I've done a parallel. This is a negative, and I've ran a jumper over to the other negative. I've ran a jumper from the positive to the positive of the second battery, and then I've seen it wired both ways to where the positive and the negative come out of one battery, but it seems like the consensus I've seen online is take the positive going back to your trailer out of one battery and the negative out of the other battery, and according to what I've read and seen in videos, it'll help to drain them equally. And so there it is. And like I said, those are good and snug. They're tight in there. They're not going anywhere. I might put something in here just to brace, but I really don't even think I need to, as tight as they are going across. And then down here is where I ended up installing this little shut-off switch, and it's easy to get to right down there. And I just used some quick ties to kind of tie the wire out of the way. And then there was the propane tank that we had moved the other day. I love this box. It's watertight. I've drilled a few holes along each side, plus we have these big holes at the back that I had put in to run wires through. I think that'll give it plenty of venting. And then this has real nice metal latches on the front to lock it into place. The only thing I'm really concerned about is if I use big enough screws, those self-tapping screws. I think it's going to be fine on there. But I don't know. I don't know where to run a bungee around it or not. Like I said, I still have a meter gauge coming that'll give me, instead of the one in the trailer that just kind of says like 1/3, 2/3 full, this one's going to give me an exact percentage. And I think I'm just going to install it out here in the box. So, all right, I think we have the batteries installed. And I like to test it here. I have no power. Okay, my lights are off. And then if I try my switch, this video is going to be bad because I'm reaching around. Let's get back out. Boom. We have power. So there we go. We have 210 amp hours now on board on our Hummingbird, and I'm excited to try this out. I'm going to pair this with a brand new, I just ordered it a little bit ago, 100 watt suitcase style solar panel from Relocating, and it should be here in the next week, and we will do a whole separate video on that. And then I'll probably, when I do that video, I'll update you on how these batteries are working. We are going to be traveling soon. because I am already getting cabin fever. So we're going to take this with us on our holiday trip, and we will give it a good try with the batteries and the solar panel. So I think that is just about everything on this battery install. It's taken me a week. It didn't come out quite the way I wanted, but I feel pretty good about how it did come out. Hopefully this video will be useful for you. I know I'm finding I'm not real good at these install videos, but hopefully you at least get something out of it. I found if you're like me, you're constantly looking at lots of different videos to get ideas on your own modifications. So hopefully I was able to provide you some information that you can use. If you have questions or comments, make sure you drop them down below in the comment box. And as always, thank you to all of our subscribers. If you're not subscribed, please do subscribe. We put out a new video every Monday. Those videos range from our travels in our Hummingbird to gear reviews, modifications, and also log cabin living, because if you watched our video on our home, Tall Pine Lodge, you know we live in a split log home. So again, we appreciate all the likes and comments, and until next time, we'll see everybody on down the road. Goodbye.